Hello.
It's working.
Hello.
Yeah, you tap on Zoom. Oh,
Welcome, guys. Admit all. Admit all.
yep.
All right. So today we are going to be learning about Argentina. All right, and more specifically, we'll be learning about how
What is that?
we responded to World War II. So what side they picked, right? Whether they wanted to side with the Nazis and the Axis, or they wanted to side with the Allies, right? So let me open up some place where we can write some notes. Can you guys all see my screen?
Yeah, it's Google.
Yep.
Very cool. Very cool. Very swag. All right.
What was the button that says feeling lucky?
I forget what
I don't know.
Okay, who's listening to Rap God?
Please turn the Eminem off.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I knew it.
It was Sam, wasn't it?
I finally got in.
Of course it was Sam.
Of course it was me. Who else would it be?
Exactly. That's what I'm
Me.
saying. Yes. All
I am
right.
the I am the school's #1 person.
That's a lie.
No, it is not a lie. I'm the school's
Eminem.
#1 person.
Keep dreaming, buddy.
Where's Jaden?
Jaden
Jaden's
doesn't know
wait.
how to log in because he didn't
Charlotte here?
do the new thing.
Jaden's so
The
toxic.
new login schedule.
Sam, did I ask?
I don't remember
I was
asking.
trying to get in.
All right, guys. Here we go. Argentina and World War II.
Are you gonna write notes in the chat?
Yes, I'll write notes, so you'll copy the notes down as well.
I don't remember asking.
Samuel.
I don't remember asking you, Sam Reed, for your opinion.
Argentina's president and his wife.
Someone just mute Sam.
In 10 years.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Guys, make sure you're listening. In 10 years. Between the end of World War II and 1955, the South American country of Argentina put a new president into power and then threw him off again. So do you guys know where Argentina is?
Places.
Argentina is on the map I'll show
South
you.
America.
Yeah, it's at the very bottom of South America. So there's their
Trying to
flag.
remember who asked.
Can we just
I do.
all mute Sam Reed?
Yeah, Mr. Jordan, can you mute Sam?
I can't meet them. See, this is Argentina right here. Next to it is Uruguay, Brazil, Paraguay, and Chile. Okay. When World War II began, Argentinians were divided about what side of Argentina should join. The people of Argentina were descended from at least 4 different kinds of people, right? Argentina was made of 4 different groups of people. The first group of people that we have are the original Native American inhabitants, right? So these are the people that were there before anybody settled.
Sam.
What?
Our second group of people
What?
are the
It's raining.
Mr. Jordan, you didn't ask. Sam, you didn't ask. You never asked. But I've heard of a class for you. It's called the Effective Communication Skills class.
I will throw you out a window.
All right, guys, pay attention. Make sure you
That's a
pay.
lie.
Otherwise, I'm going to lock
Try me.
mute.
Yeah, please do
Original
that.
Native American inhabitants, Spanish settlers who had come to the South America in the 17th century, right? So, Spanish settlers, and Italian German settlers who arrived in Argentina during the 1800s. So, Italian and settlers. Thanks.
Can you make the text bigger?
I can. Go ahead and make it. Okay.
No, wait, I'm not on mute.
How do I make this not do?
Where's that kid behind me?
All right. You said bigger. Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who asked.
How do I make it go back?
No, wait, what do you mean, like, go back?
Like it, I don't know why it keeps indenting.
Oh, no.
Whatever.
Do Control Z.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Huh.
Yeah, why? So you freaking noob?
Oh,
Whoa.
please.
Whoa. Samry, that's inappropriate content.
He cursed it at me.
We'll just keep going. The Argentinians, with Italian and German backgrounds, hoped that their country would join the Axis power. Other Argentinians wanted to join the Allies. So, Italian / German wanted Argentinian wanted to join the Axis power, right? Of course, they wanted to join the Axis power because Axis power included Italy and Germany, right? Other wanted to join the Allies. All right. The president of Argentina, Roman Castillo, decreed that the country would remain neutral during World War II. But although Argentina didn't fight on either side, it was friendly towards the Axis power of Italy and Germany. During the war, Argentina even sent a few of its army officers over to Europe to learn new strategies from Axis commanders. One of those officers was Captain Juan Perón. Right at the beginning of the war, Perón went to Italy to study the best ways to fight in mountain terrain. He spent 2 years in Italy watching the fascist army fight in World War II, learning techniques from the Italian officers and observing Mussolini. Perón liked Mussolini's ideas about how to run a country. They agreed that the country should obey its leader without debate in order to be strong. Even though Italy was at war, Perón thought that Mussolini's fascism had made the country peaceful, organized, and efficient. So, one, Perón, an Argentinian general, is sent to Italy to study Mussolini, right? So if we remember back, was Mussolini a good guy?
No?
No, Mussolini was the ruler of Italy. Remember during World War II? He's the guy that they put, that the Italians locked in that hotel on a mountain, and then the Nazis flew gliders to rescue him. That's Mussolini. He's the guy that was the fascist government. Remember, fascist government is a government where they use the military to control the people with fear.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy, Juan Perón, goes to Italy and he's like, oh, I kind of like the way that Mussolini is doing this, right? He thinks that everybody in a country should listen to what the leader says without doubt, right? So if the leader says, do this, you don't argue with it. You just do it, and that makes the country stronger. That's what he believed. In 1943, 4 years into World War II, Juan Perón joined a group of military officers who wanted to take over the government. He returned to Argentina to find that its president, Ramon Castillo, had become weaker and more unpopular than ever. The poor people of Argentina believed that Castillo only cared about rich landlords, the factory owners, not about the hungry workers who were struggling to survive. Rumors had also begun to spread about the coming presidential election. Ramon Castillo was up for re-election, but now everyone was whispering that Castillo had already picked a rich plantation owner to be the next president, and that his government was ready to tamper with the votes in order to make sure that
Nice
Castillo's
background, Elijah.
chosen candidate was elected. Right? So this guy, Ramon Castillo, what is We Dem Boys? Jazz?
Hey, I mean
Wait.
God.
Wait, how do you do that?
Ramon Castillo
You
is
should make when you realize your parents are your cousins.
Argentina. Favors rich people only.
Mr. Jordan,
Yes.
look at my camera. The face you make when you realize your parents are your cousins.
Oh my gosh. Oh my.
You're right, Jazz.
You guys need to
Wait,
go. You guys
how
need
do you do that?
Wait, so
Alright,
you go.
pay attention so we can finish this, and then you guys can do this at the end of the call.
This looks like me
Okay.
as a baby.
Okay. All right. So this guy Ramon Castillo is president. He favors rich people. There's rumors that he's gonna pick someone rich to become president after him. In the uproar, the military officers marched soldiers to the Casa Rosada, the president's house in Buenos Aires, and suggested that Castillo resign. Faced with all those armed and hostile officers, Castillo had no choice. He left the Casa Rosada and his position as president. The officers then set up a junta, the military government, to rule Argentina. People in Argentina don't really like this guy, Ramon Castillo, the president. So military officers march to president's house and order him to surrender. Right? After that, after he surrenders, military sets up a junta, which is Spanish for a military government. So that means that the government is ruled and in charge by the military now. A military government doesn't seem any more fair than a president who had been elected to be a fraud. The Argentinians seemed willing to give the junta a chance. In this new government, Juan Perón was in charge of taking care of working people. Perón wanted to make sure that working people were paid a fair wage and had money to live on when they were too old to work. He introduced laws to bring those reforms about, and this made him very popular with the working people. So this guy, Juan Perón, the guy that trained in Italy under Mussolini, he becomes in charge of taking care of the working people, so the poor people, right? But Perón became more and more unpopular with his own government. The other officers didn't like the idea that Perón had so much popular support, and they also were worried about Perón's admiration of Mussolini. Right, so the rest of the military government, the rest of the military officers are kind of jealous that everybody likes Perón so much. In 1945, when the junta had been in charge of Argentina for 2 years, the Axis powers surrendered to the Allies, right? So Italy and Germany surrendered. It was a good time to point out that Perón had supported the fascists, who were on the losing side. On October 9th, 1945, Perón was arrested by his own government and put on a small but very comfortable island where he couldn't command his supporters to rise up and free him, right? So after, let's see, Germany and Italy lose World War II because Perón was a fan of Italy and fascism.
Wait, do we write this?
Yes.
Who was your English teacher? You seem really good at it.
Known in, thrown in exile.
Jordan.
So he was sent to an island off of Argentina, where he was supposed to live for the rest of his life.
Mr. Jordan,
Yes.
can you slow down?
Mm-hmm. Anti-fascists rejoiced, but soon the working people who loved Perón demanded his release. Juan Perón was engaged to be married to a young woman named Maria Eva Duarte, an actress he had met several years before. When Eva heard that her fiancé had been thrown into jail, she encouraged the working people of Argentina to demand an explanation. What had happened to their champion? These workers, named descamisados, or shirtless ones, because they worked without shirts in the hot sun of South America, gathered in the streets in the thousands, demanding Perón's release. The other officers could see that Perón would have to be set free, right? So Perón is chilling on this island, right? They yeeted him out of Argentina. He's chilling on this island.
How
And
dare they eat him?
This girl, this famous actor, Maria Duarte, Perón's fiance, gets poor
Go. Nico. Hackers and newbies, their keyboards be like,
or workers.
Wait, what?
hackers, keyboards be like,
Right? So Maria Duarte, Perón's fiance, gets poor people to protest the release of Perón, right? He was, on October 17th, 1945, Perón
Wait.
was set free.
Do we put all the bullet points for each line?
Yes,
you hit got it.
got it.
Thank you.
Elijah, like mine?
Is it I searched for me looking where I asked for your opinion?
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
He went out to speak to his supporters. A huge mob cheered when he appeared and waved torches in celebration. The next day, the workers all stayed home from work and took vacation in celebration of Perón's release. They called this day, jokingly, the Feast of Saint Perón. By arresting their champion, the officers of the junta had lost the confidence of the working people. The junta couldn't hold on to its powers, and members agreed to hold an election for a new president. Juan Domingo Perón won the election, right? So Perón enters election to become president and wins, right? So the junta actually hurt themselves. The junta support all their people by getting jealous and throwing Perón in jail or exile. As president, Perón went on to trying to improve the lives of the poor. He also did his best to get the important business of Argentina back under Argentinian control. Like
Can you
China,
please slow down?
Argentina was filled with foreign business. Like China, Argentina was filled with foreign businessmen who controlled factories, trains, and ports. Great Britain owned most of the railroads. The United States owned almost all of the car factories. Perón brought these businesses back to the people of Argentina by seizing them in the name of the government. So Perón seizes all industry, Argentina,
I love my background. It makes me feel good about myself.
by foreign countries, right? So basically he went in and so like Great Britain owned most of the railroads in Argentina. So he just went in with his army to the railroads in Argentina and just said, actually, these are ours now. Sorry, Great
And
Britain.
Mr. Jordan,
Mhm.
before the class ends, can you copy all that and put it down in the?
I'm going to give you guys a link to.
All right.
To what?
Although Perón worked for the people of Argentina, he also used the methods of fascists to make sure that he kept his power. So listen to this part, guys. This is important. If a newspaper criticized him, Perón ordered it to shut down so that it could never print another issue. If a school teacher told his students that Perón policies might not be good for the country, he lost his job. Anyone who objected too loudly to Perón's reforms and laws was likely to disappear, mysteriously. Perón called his way of running the country justificacionismo. He believed that the poor people should have power, but the way to give them power was for the government to tell how they could use their land and money.
Hey.
Elias, stop!
What?
Dun, 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 dun.
What's the matter with your head? Hey.
Stop!
Oh, that voice crack though.
Go and get your love.
Call me.
Me trying to remember who.
All right.
Sam Reed, be
I think I
quiet.
muted.
Elijah.
Argentina did have a constitution that gave citizens the right to certain freedoms, such as the right to be tried in a court if they were accused of a crime. So how did Perón get away with disappearing Argentinians who disagreed with him and violating all sorts of rights that people were supposed to have? There was one clause in the constitution that gave the president of the Argentina the power to act like a dictator if the country was in a national emergency. So Perón simply declared that Argentina was suffering from an emergency. So this guy Perón could only act like a dictator if there was a national emergency. So he declares So what they're saying is, just like the United States, if you were to commit a crime in Argentina, you would go to court and they would give you a trial and they would basically vote, right? The judge would decide what happens. So the way that Perón got away with this or got around this was they had a rule in their constitution that if there's a national crisis, then the
He
president
can be a dictator.
he can do whatever he wants. So basically he just said, okay, fine. Okay, now we're in a national crisis. Now I get to do whatever I want.
Somebody stole a drop of water from a leak. This is a national crisis.
Exactly.
Oh no.
Argentinians put up with Perón's dictatorship for 9 years. In part, Perón was able to keep his position because his wife Eva was so popular. Eva was beautiful, charming, and soft-hearted. As a wife of the president, she started an organization called Eva Perón Foundation that gave money to the poor, helped working people visit doctors, and paid for children to get an education. So this lady made a foundation and named it after herself. So,
Dang, that's selfish.
that's
I mean,
kinda-
not really.
That's kind of toxic.
yes.
That's really selfish.
Nobody asked.
Eva Perón's wife was popular, so it helped Perón stay in power.
Nice.
People
Nice, you dropped this.
called her Evita, a nickname showing their love for her. She was even nicknamed the Madonna of America for her mercy. In 1952, Evita died. She was only 33 years old. At her funeral, thousands of Argentinians lined the streets and wept out loud as her coffin was carried back. All right, so Perón's wife dies at 33 years old. After Eva died, Juan Perón grew more cruel. More and more Argentinians disappeared, and were never seen again. People of his country began to mutter very quietly about Perón's tyranny.
Can we get an F in a chat?
Okay. I'll spam F.
Nico,
I'm gonna
I
mute it.
swear to God, I'm not gonna say it again. Stop eating your mic.
Yes, I better.
Pico,
Yeah.
you know I can still go on Bright Wheel and write a message to your parents. Same with you, Nick. Stop spamming the chat. We're almost.
Mr. Jordan, have you seen my name?
Yes.
He only changed it.
We have 2 more. This is literally the last page that we have to read, and then we're good.
All right, let's let him finish it.
Argentina was growing poorer and poorer. Perón had spent huge amounts of the government's money on education and care for the poor. This was good for the poor, but now the government was out of money, right? So Perón became meaner after his wife died. Yes, I'm going to send the link out, Brady. Perón became meaner after his wife died, and Argentina spent all its money on.
Mr. Jordan,
Yes,
when does this class end?
in 15 minutes.
Okay.
Perón faced with a rapidly emptying treasury, announced that for 2 years, no one in Argentina would get a pay raise. He suggested that Argentinians eat less meat and more bread so that meat could be sold to other countries for money. Argentinians weren't happy at the prospect of a meatless diet. Then Perón made himself even less popular as he criticized the Catholic Church.
Doing that.
He accused Catholic priests of preaching against him in their sermons and sent 2 of the most well-known priests back to Rome, accusing them of treason. He declared that several church holidays, days when Argentinians were accustomed to staying home, would now be regular work days. Devout Catholics of Argentina resented all of these actions. Right? So, Perón turns on the Catholic Church
What was that? Sounds like fun.
Perón had begun to lose the loyalty of his people. On June 6, 1955, the armed forces suddenly rebelled against Perón. Military planes flew over the Casa Rosada and dropped bombs on it. The rebellion only lasted a day, but Perón reacted by announcing that he would wage war on anyone who opposed him. He also ordered his supporters to attack anyone who criticized him. So this guy was so disliked that he got bombed in his own house by his own people. That would be like if somebody, like if the Air Force decided to bomb the White House, like our own Air Force. So Ramon gets attacked by his own people. Orders his supporters to attack anyone who speaks bad about him. Even Perón's supporters were shocked by this. Perón was encouraging Argentinians to beat each other up. The army again tried to revolt. This time, soldiers managed to capture several large Argentinian cities. He began to call for Perón to resign and for Argentina to hold a new election for another president. Perón left his country and went first to Paraguay and then Madrid in Spain. Back in Argentina, his own people knocked his statues over and smashed them and chipped his name out of all the engravings in public squares. So, Perón gets...
Mr. Jordan, there are 5 people named Jordan Mori.
You guys are trolls.
Wait, who's the real one?
He gets kicked out of his own country. Over the next 18 years, Argentina had 9 different leaders. In 1973, 18 years after this flight, Juan Perón even returned to Argentina and became president again for a single year. Then again for 79. Then at the age of 79, Juan Perón died. So Perón eventually, guys, I'm gonna disable the chat in a second. Perón eventually becomes president again for 1 year. All right, and that is the story of Juan Perón and Argentina and World War II. So in the chat, I put a Google Doc. It should be, oops.
Where is it?
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Send it to everyone. Get shareable link.
Download. It's not letting me download. Let me down. There we go. Okay.
Mr. Jordan, did you actually name that No You?
No, that wasn't me that sent it. Don't change your names to me or to my name. It's going to confuse people. So in the chat, I put the Google Doc with the notes. Your assignment is you are going to watch. I'll put the video in. I'll watch this video for your assignment. And then I'm going to show you guys something interesting. All right.
Sam.
Argentina, we know that from this story that Argentina has a big influence from Germany and Italy, right? So
Sam.
if we
Sam
look,
Reed.
What's up?
guys,
That.
stop talking. So if you look, Argentina, they speak Spanish, right? That's their most spoken language. Their second spoken languages are Italian and German, right? We read about how Italy and Germany were supported by Argentina, right? There was a lot of Italians and Germans in Argentina. After World War II, a bunch of Nazis left Germany, right? Because the US took over Germany and were imprisoning all the Nazis. So a lot of the Nazis went to the US and joined NATO. And a lot of them went to Argentina. So in Argentina, they have
No.
this place.
We started at 1:15, that's why.
This place.
Spaghetti.
So this is in Argentina. This place is Bariloche. And it is actually a German city in Argentina. So everything in that city is in German. They have a lot of German people. They have a German festival.
Oh, dang.
And we have some people.
That's pretty
who are-
hot.
We have
Tortinos.
some people that are descendants of Nazis that escaped Germany.
Happy.
See? So this is in South America, in
Horsey.
a town that looks completely like a German town. And they have the very first ski club that was started by an ex-Nazi. So there's
Oh,
just
dang.
interesting facts about Argentina and the
That's
influence.
a lot of damage.
The influence.
Okay, Nick, I swear, stop texting me.
All right.
You're
So-
spamming me.
Did everybody get that link to the notes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for today, guys.
No!
I'm sad.
Are you all ready for me to become
Goodbye.
No, it can't be over. It can't be over.
No, we can't.
Sexy wins.
No, Elijah, stay here.
Isn't it
Elijah,
good?
stay here.
Have a good
Isn't
day.
it good?
Have a good day.
Bye.
Wait,
Wait, Elijah, did you get your phone back?
No,
Why not?
I don't know.